It's Nolan. Rap it die, rap it die, rap it die, beat on. Rap it die, rap it die, rap it die, beat on. Rap it die, rap it die, rap it die, beat on. Rap it die, rap it die, rap it die. Got that money showing up, she get down to the wire. Got me lighting up my fire, we gon' take this shit higher, nigga. What? Rap it die, rap it die, rap it die, beat on. Rap it die, rap it die, rap it die, beat. On 85, straight genocide, get a bean pie, you won't pee. See homicide, that's inside, I'm on crease side with my P. I've been penalized so many times, my nigga died in them streets. Learned the business side, had to improvise, I set aside my grade. Still the same young nigga with a goal. Ariel got paid for the pole. Campaign on the block with a pole. White tee nigga, fuck them clothes. White man can't stop my growth. Jump man came at my soul. 10 deep in the Chinese store. Jumping scene like Daniel Jones. Tryna break my old habit. Step up financial status. Pulling plays in Miami. See the view from my vantage. Niggas taking advantage. Let her came with the sandwich. Let her play with my family. Let it bang from the camera. I'm still haunted by them souls in the river. Even in the dead of winter when it's cold. Never shiver. We could take it to the stage. I'm a stand up solid. Both hands in my pocket. Oh, send me that deposit. Oh, rap it die, rap it die, rap it die. Beat on. Rap it die, rap it die, rap it die. Beat on. Rap it die, rap it die, rap it die. Beat on. Rap it die, rap it die, rap it die. Got that money showing up. She get down to the wire. Got me lighting up my fire. We gon' take this shit higher, nigga. What? Rap it die, rap it die, rap it die. Beat on. Rap it die, rap it die, rap it die. Beat.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everyone is doing well out there. Now, in this particular video, we're going to be getting into Miss Kash Doll, all right? Now, recently, she went on the Joe Budden podcast, and while she was up there, of course, she talked about the new album she's got out called The Last Doll, which we're going to be addressing a little bit later. But in the conversation, they also asked her about the Kendrick Lamar and Drake battle, and of course her name was mentioned in the battle by Kendrick Lamar on 616 in LA. So they decided to ask her how she felt when she heard her name get mentioned on the record, why she thinks she was mentioned on the record. This has already been addressed via Twitter and stuff like that, because she was very excited when folks was tagging her and letting her know that she had got mentioned on the record, but at that time she was very confused. Perhaps there's a little bit of extra clarity now, we're gonna see, but for the most part, she's been archived in history, you know what I mean, based on the fact that this is one of the biggest battles, if not the biggest battle in hip-hop history. Definitely the most covered hip-hop battle in hip-hop history, the most talked about battle when you add in the real life element, the niggas in the barber shops, and then you take it to the internet with the Twitters, the podcasts, the never-ending content, the people that chose sides, the whole thing. Like, there's been a lot of conversation around this battle. There's a lot of people out there that wish the conversation would go away and die down. I don't see it happening anytime soon, because this is the quintessential beef of two of rap's titans. And of course, we had J. Cole play a brief part in it. Three of rap's titans culminating all at once at really kind of the height before the fall of their careers. Not to say that they're about to go on a downward slope, but they're, you know what I mean, they've been around for damn near 15 years at this point. There's not too much growth they're going to experience, although Kendrick has grown a lot this year. You get what I'm saying? So, of course, with the timing, the way it played out, the records that came from it, and just the way the records unfolded, yeah, this is a timestamp in history. If you don't enjoy it, that's on you. That's all I always say. That's on you. You can't take away from everybody else's fun and enjoyment just because you don't partake. You know what I'm saying? But you can always have an opinion. But anyway, they asked Kash Doll about it. We're gonna go ahead and pull up a clip of Joe Budden and Co. asking Kash Doll about it. And then after we address all of that, we're going to do a quick overview of Kash Doll's new project, The Last Doll. I do believe this is the last project she's putting out under this name. She says that she may just go by Kash moving forward. I think that's going to be a terrible rap name. I believe that name is already taken by a producer, by the way that she even spells it. But you are known as Cash Doll unless you're gonna come out and put something at the end of that. If you're just gonna go by Cash, I don't really see that translating. It's gonna be bad for SEO. It's gonna be bad for search results. It's gonna be bad for streaming platforms when there's probably other people that have that name. That's a step backwards. But she'll have to find that out on her own time. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up the audio of the Joe Budden podcast. Of course, we don't play Joe Budden video because they copyright claim that shit. All right, give me a second. We're gonna get right to it.
What was your interpretation of the Kendrick line when it dropped? Who was the first one that told you that your name was dropped in the Kendrick Drake beef?
Man, it was crazy because I'm on Twitter and shit. I'm scrolling. I'm just doing my biggest, laying in the bed, chilling, doing my big one, talking shit. And then I just seen all my mentions like, that's Cash Doll, Cash Doll, Cash Doll. Kendrick Lamar said something. I'm like, Kendrick Lamar, what the fuck he say? So I'm nervous, like, which way did this go? Like, but I know I ain't never did nothing or I haven't even met Kendrick. So I'm like, I'm listening to it and I'm trying to figure out what
Me too. Me too. He said, find the jewels like Cash. Find the jewels like Cash.
I'm like, maybe
Doll.
talking about Ice Me Out.
There was a rumor going around at the time that at one point you had lost some jewelry.
Yeah.
So I connected it to that. I didn't
seen
think
that
it was
too,
deeper.
and I'm like, damn, he dig that deep to know that
That's
I
what
lost
I'm saying.
jewelry?
Find the jewels like Cash Doll. Let's look at the receipt. Was that the next line? Let's look at the receipt.
I just need you to think.
I just need you to think. Yeah, he was. But what?
And then everybody on the internet, he ain't talk about you, he ain't talk about you. And I was like, well, I don't know. This is what everybody's saying to me.
The nigga said Cash Doll.
Find the
That's what
jewels.
I
It was a
he
double
said
entendre.
it. Huh?
He was saying find the jewels, but he's also saying what I'm telling you. Look for the message in it. Find the jewel in what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. That's all. I'm giving you jewels. Find them. That's it.
So
But
what's he
and
saying?
Cash
Ice
Doll.
me out?
But yeah, but your name came from the lost jewels. So
Okay, well then
Got
that's
it.
what he was talking
Find
about.
the jewels
so I was
like
a part of
Cash
I was a
Doll.
part of this shit, y'all. I was just like, shit. I'm going crazy right now.
Word.
Like what? So I
Gotta
was
drop
just
the
like,
record.
damn, I'm like, I don't know. Cause then people start saying, yeah, cause she did this and she did this with Kendrick, and I'm like, I haven't even seen him in person. What are you talking about? Then they took the fun out of it.
Yeah.
You
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, all right,
We'll do that.
That
all
happens
right,
fast.
there you go.
That happens fast.
Shout out to Kendrick for showing me some love. I ain't in that.
Were you?
I'm gonna pause. We're gonna get back to that, but I want to go ahead and address a couple things here because at the time when 616 in LA came out, I do remember that there was a rumor circulating that Kendrick and Cash Doll had dated in the past or that they had some type of fling. I was wondering if there was any type of information to substantiate that rumor. We got it right here from Cash Doll saying she's never even met Kendrick Lamar, never even seen him in person. So unless they was online dating on Tinder or some shit, you know what I'm saying, hit a POF or something like that, swipe right, then clearly that's not how it went down. And I wouldn't imagine that they met on an online dating app and was just talking and that would leak out to the public like that. I'm just being funny. I'm just making jokes. You know what I'm saying? But out of Cash Doll's own mouth, she say she ain't never met the nigga. So for anybody who was going around spreading that information, saying that her and Kendrick had something going on at one point in life, I want you to run and tell that as well, that she says that never happened, right? And for the most part, anybody that's had any dealings with Kendrick Lamar hasn't really denied it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nitty Scott MC. Not to say that we only should be talking about her for that, but she was very transparent about the time that they spent together, the moments that they shared, and she still speaks very highly of him today, although people were trying to purport that she was going to come out with some sort of DV allegations. She debunked those theories swiftly and expeditiously, okay? So that's what we have there. I just wanted to put a pin in that for anybody who thought that they may have been intimate. That's not substantiated. And now they're getting into the Wayne Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl ordeal where Kendrick Lamar was chosen to perform in New Orleans this year rather than Wayne. Of course, we talked about Wayne in the Louisiana Fest recently, and he's still feeling somewhat hurt, still feeling disappointed, still going through his, I guess, moments of grief, if that's what you want to call it, for not receiving the opportunity. And this is where they ask Cash Doll her perspective of the situation, where she does her best to remain neutral, give props to both artists while still showing love and appreciation for Wayne, which is what I think should have been happening. But unfortunately, when Wayne and his team played victim and started doing sort of weird behavior, especially not by congratulating Kendrick or reaching out to Kendrick or saying anything that would reflect, righteously in that direction. It just made things a little bit weird. But we're going to go ahead and play her reaction to that, and then we're going to move on with the show, okay? Cool.
One of the people surprised that Lil Wayne didn't get the Super Bowl nod in New Orleans.
Dang, Wayne, because Wayne a GOAT.
Of course. Of
so
course.
I'm like, he like top 5 for me. So I was like, damn, that
From
would have been
Detroit,
good.
right?
Yeah, I feel like that would have been good. He is definitely in my top 5.
This nigga stupid.
Wayne's definitely in my
Of course.
top 5.
Of course.
But I thought it made sense for sure. That's his hometown, and he'd been putting so much work in the game for so long. But I ain't taking it from Kendrick neither. So it's like that's why I just shut up, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why I ain't on podcast. Y'all see what?
Smart. No, I feel you.
You see what I'm saying? Because I feel it. I feel Kendrick right now in his prime, and he going crazy. But it's like Wayne is Wayne, and Wayne been doing his thing, and it's like, damn.
Yeah, both things can be said and still be paying respect to both of them.
Yeah, because I really genuinely feel like that, and it ain't like me copping out and trying to play both sides, because I'm genuinely a Lil Wayne fan. Like, top 5 in my books. I don't give a fuck. So I would love to see him halftime and at home, crazy. That's a crazy lineup. And then Cash Money going crazy, like Hot Boys. I'm like, 19, 2000. What? That would have went crazy.
19 to 2000.
Working with that shit.
Anybody you want to work with? I know Wayne. I'm sure
I work
Wayne
with
is
Wayne.
You work with Wayne. Yeah. So anybody else you would want to work with in the future that you ain't work with
She
yet?
ain't doing music no more.
Oh, well, shit, yeah.
Rihanna, she done.
That's it?
She said she ain't.
Just those two?
I would like to work with a lot of people. Like, as long as it just makes sense.
So that's Kash Doll and her reaction to being named in Kendrick's 616 in LA, her reaction to the Super Bowl, and then they were asking her about potential collaborators that she would love to work with in the industry. And it seems that the only person that's left on her bucket list is really Rihanna, and anything else would have to be organic. Sounds good to me. All right, now let's get into the talk around Kash Doll's new project, The Last Doll. Now, this is not going to be a full-on review. I had somebody request that, and upon further review, when I did listen to the album, I'm like, my review ain't gonna do this justice. I ain't crazy about the album. Okay? It had some standouts. It had some good moments. I think for the most part on the 14 records on The Last Doll, she rapped well, right? I think Kash Doll is definitely an underrated rapper. I will give her that space. I think that the level of rapping that she displayed on this project, for all of the love that somebody like, and this is not to throw her under the bus or to disparage, the love that JT gets as a rapper, as a lyricist, I think Kash Doll should be getting the same, right? I think that Kash Doll actually might be a better rapper when you listen to The Last Doll versus City Cinderella. I think she's a better rapper, a more astute rapper, with better punchlines as well. But she doesn't get mentioned in the same regard as a JT, perhaps because JT's younger. She's more of the moment. She's coming from a bigger group with city girls going off and doing her own thing. And she definitely earned her moment. I'm not saying that was not the case, right? But I think that Kash Doll should come up in the conversation as well, kind of with the likes of her, Lotto, Megan. Like, I don't feel like she's better, but I feel like she's in that bracket compared to some of the others that are out. Like there's the Coil Rays, who really ain't MCs, really ain't rappers like that. The Ice Spices, who really ain't rappers like that. You got the Cardi B, who, there's a lot of question marks around what she's writing and what she's not, which a lot of people seem to dock points for, which I understand. So I wouldn't put her in that category. She's more so a lyricist, and I think a lot of people don't give her that stamp. That's all I'm really saying. So I feel like she displayed that well on the project. I think one of my biggest gripes with this Last Doll project is some of the production. I think there was a lot of leaning onto mid 2000s samples and records that just did not need to be sampled. I mean, out of the 14 songs, let me see. You had a Jam on It sample, which Hitmaker needs to be, let me stop. He needs to be chastised for sampling Jam on it, jam on it. Nobody, never have I heard that song and felt like that needs a hip hop flip. No. There's a Cameron Old Boy sample on this motherfucker that was unnecessary. There's a Lil Wayne Babyface Comfortable sample on this motherfucker that actually I like the song Comfy. It's one of my favorites from the project. Unnecessary sample. There's a Kanye West Power sample. Who the fuck samples Kanye West Power? That beat is one of the most iconic beats in hip hop history. You don't pull from it and flip it the same way. If you're gonna flip it, you gotta take another part of the song and do something different with it, which I don't see happening very often in hip hop. I'm not deducting points on Kash Doll because she's not making the beats herself, but I am deducting on the enjoyability of the project due to this crutch of trying to lean on successful past records. I don't think that shit works. And a lot of times it doesn't work sonically because you're so attached to that other record, the original version, that it takes away from the listening enjoyment on the new version, right? There's a motherfucking, what is this one? It's a Cash Money sample on here on the last one. House real big, car real big, real big. Y'all remember that? I'm rich, bitch. I'm a real big timer. They flipped that and turned it again. That one made sense because I've been telling y'all that the Detroit sound pulls heavily from the Cash Money sound. So that made sense as far as how they flipped it into a Detroit beat. But Fuck 'Em was a good one too. Out of the 14 records, let me see which ones that I liked. I thought Clarity was cool. I wasn't crazy about her singing on that one, but her bars and cadence and everything on that one was straight. Shout out to Cardiac on that beat. Cash Commandments is a standout on there, right? Dope record, dope beat, go Grizzly. You know what I'm saying? Fire. Only problem with Cash Commandments, and I had the same issue with Biggie's 10 Crack Commandments, is for as dope as the record is, I can't play it as much because I get tired of the counting. The 1, 2, 3. It's like, all right, my nigga, stop counting. You know what I mean? So that deducts like replay value for me personally. Everybody's going to hear it differently, but it's a good record. It's something I don't mind hearing. Number 3 that I like, Nothing New. I like Nothing New a lot, actually. I saw her on the Radar performance of this record. I thought it was a freestyle, but then I was like, it's got a hook to it. Is that going to be on the album? It turned out it was. It's one of my favorites from the album, probably the best song on the album, in my opinion, right? What other record did I like? I liked NWA. I was a little confused by NWA because the acronym is New Ass with an Attitude. That actually is NAWA. New Ass with an Attitude. That's NAWA, not NWA. I'm quite sure that's Young Blue's doing, as he's the one singing the hook. He probably wrote it. But that's also featuring Tracy T, her ex, her now baby father. He's on the record. I thought it was a solid record. I like the track. I like the flow. It's a vibe. It's not like trying to be overly lyrical. It's like a somewhat of a love record, not entirely, but speaks to romance. I like it. It's something you could play like on a weekend when you're just kind of out and about, maybe running some errands or just moving, you know what I mean, doing what you do. You don't want to hear nothing that's like overly intrusive, nothing that's overly like bass heavy, just kind of vibing. I fuck with that record, but the acronym threw me off a little bit. Also, the New Ass thing kind of threw me off too. I wasn't aware that Kash Doll may have possibly had BBL in the lyrics. She even says this new ass wasn't cheap. I didn't know that. I thought Kash Doll was, organic. We'll just say that. Not to say that it means anything. I just wasn't aware. Right? I like the record though. Comfy, I told y'all I like that record already. Featuring Tink. Tink sounds great on it as always. And Fuck 'Em. So out of 14 records, what is that? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll give you 6. Fuck 'Em was a good one, even though I was exhausted by the samples. So a 6 out of 14 ratio, what percentage do we get out of that? mathematically, that is a 42.8%, right? So I can be lenient and round it up to a 43%, right? So if that's a 43% and we're doing this on a 1 to 10 scale, I got to give it a 4.3, right? So it's in the 4 region. Now, to who requested that I review the album, I know I didn't go through the lyrics and all the bars and all of that, everything. Really don't have time to do it as I'm making up for lost time coming off of vacation and everything. But I don't also feel like Kash Doll's The Last Doll project is like really like hip hop discussion right now. I don't feel like that's what people are looking to talk about. So I didn't give it the same amount of, nuance that I would give other projects, but I did want to at least talk about it. I did want to at least, build a story around Kash Doll if I was going to talk about her, to give her the at least attention to give her project acknowledgement as it's out, right? Does that mean that it's bad? No. It just means that there was a lot of different benchmarks that struck me the wrong way. The records that I didn't like, y'all might like. So I'm definitely going to say, check it out. Listen to it for yourself. Again, bar-wise, rap-wise, I feel like she did her shit. There's moments on there where she does like the Detroit offbeat flow, like on, what's the name of that record? Pressin', I believe. Yeah, Pressin' featuring T Grizzly. I feel like the raps on that song are good, but doing that Detroit offbeat flow threw me off. It made it less enjoyable. So there's like little things like that would make an otherwise dope song to me not as dope. So that's why the rating is a bit low for me, right? But I do think that Kash Doll is rapping well on the project, even on some of the records that I didn't care for or I thought was leaning too heavily on the sample, which deducted points in my perspective. She still was rapping well. It was just like, I'm not going to come back to this song because this sample annoys me, right? So that's where I'm coming from. Let me know what y'all think down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. Much love and respect. I'll be back shortly with more content, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. But I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.